Hey gang, we're getting a lot of people asking how we're doing the wire tucks and where we're putting stuff on the NB Miatas. So we have one in progress, and I'll just walk you through what we're doing for the wire tucks. So the harness is basically a great big U. There's an end on this side and it goes up through the firewall, connects to all the interior stuff, and then comes back up this side and runs all the way back around. So what we're doing is we're taking the two legs of the U, and instead of running them over the fender wells, we're going to run them behind inside the fender. So we've got the car all torn down. We've got the fenders off, the bumper off, the motor's out. You don't have to take the motor out. This car needed a motor, so it's unrelated, but you have to take the bumper and the fenders off. There's a hole here, and this outside hole already exists in the sheet metal. The inside hole does not, at least it's not that big. So you have to cut that out with a cutoff wheel or a angle grinder. And what we're going to do, this isn't done yet, we're going to make a rubber sheath to feed the wire through so that there's no way that this sharp edge could cut into the wire. So this is just mocked up right now. This will then get pinned up nice and tidy right along here, well out of the way of the wheel, and you can or cannot put the fender liner back in if you want to, and it all drops right back in. And most of this stuff will still reach. Some things you will have to go, like this guy here, and extend the wire to get it to reach. Now, if you're keeping the emission stuff, I relocate a lot of it. This pocket right here has nothing in it, and it's above the fender liner, and the headlight doesn't stick back that far. So I relocate a lot of the emissions stuff to hang right in here on this side. Turn signals, horn, all of that still reaches and goes right back to where it was. This side's a little bit more complicated. We have the diagnostic port. Oh, there's water everywhere. And there's one ground wire you have to extend. But this we wind up mounting, tucking right up nice and neat inside here in the corner so you can still access it. Then again, same thing, we've cut this hole out and we'll pretty that up and feed it through. On this side, you do have to extend the headlight wires. These two relays, just wash the car if you can't tell. We're going to mount right here, again up above the fender liner but out of the way, and those are accessible through this hole if you did have to change them while out on the road. So we don't want to make it a pain to work on. Tuck this all up, we rerun the hood latch wire, same thing. Tuck everything around, plug it back in. The coolant reservoir, because we want to get this all clean, the coolant reservoir, we can get a cylindrical tank, and it actually fits right here in this little cavity. It doesn't block the radiator at all. And then we just we do it, it's just a catch can, so we just run that line back up into the radiator. For the windshield washer bottle, we get a small tank and we put that right up in here, and then we can cover this so it goes away and it's nice and pretty. The fuel line, the fuel pressure regulator, I mount all of that stuff down in this cavity right here. So we tuck it all in, make little brackets, and nice and neat. And I typically mount the evap can right here, right directly above the sway bar and below this lip. And you can't see it because we do our short ram intake on these, and it covers it right up, so it disappears and it's all pretty. The other thing I do to make it pretty is redo the throttle cable. So rather than going up over the top, we actually run it down over the bell housing, but below the top of the motor, and then come up the side. And if you look at the pictures online of that silver car, the throttle cable just disappears. So that really cleans up the backside of it. So after that, it's up to you how crazy you go with painting every little thing. I go through and I repaint every little bracket depending on what the color scheme of the car needs to be. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty of where you got to route everything. Not complicated, but is fairly time consuming. So make them pretty, boys.